back. I finally got a replacement camera. I had an Osmo before. It wasn't the Action 3. I really liked it, so I got another one. It was a little bit cheaper than the actual GoPro. But today's episode of Things and Stuff is to install the Johnson lifters in the car and cut apart the oil filter. Here's the oil cutter. And there was my damn suction cup mount that I forgot for drag week. I also picked that up for the trailer hitch since I'm just going to leave the frame in there. Might as well. So, America. But while I was buying some stuff from BTR, I also bought two of the nicer aluminum piston ring compressors to put the pistons in your cylinders, because I still have the old Chinesium ones that you tighten up and they're a pain in the butt. So follow along for today's episode of we're going to pull it apart, find that bad lifter, put the new lifters in, cut the oil filter apart, and see if there's anything bad in there, but hopefully not. Maybe, I don't know. I've been looking into different stuff. Maybe the cam bearings are going bad or something, but we'll see. I'm going to pull it apart, cut the filter open, see what's in there first, and then go from there. But I'll keep you posted. Here we are. About to pull it all apart. Long, agonizing, don't want to do it. Every time I look at that mess back there, I go, bleh. I gotta figure out something to do about that eventually as well. Here we go. Moment of truth. I got the passenger side head off, but I decided before I go too far and get everything back together on that side, I'd better cut the filter open so that if there is a problem, I could just pull the engine out without the heads on it. Starting to cut open. So there's definitely a trick to this cutter. Trying to be careful to not crush it while you spin it. Definitely shit in there. Whether it's shit from the lifters or bearing. know if you can see that. Can you? Maybe no. You still can't see it. That is hard telling. It kind of looks like bearing material to me, but oh yeah. Question is cam bearings? I do not know yet. Damn. More disassembly then. Build a race car, they said. Let's go drag racing. How the hell can everybody freaking run these cars for years without problems, and I go out for a week and blow the fucking thing up every time? What the hell? To be continued. Update. Maybe good news. We were working on the buggy, getting ready for a wheeling competition, and we were just talking about the duster issues, and I was like, you know what, Alan, why don't you grab a magnet real quick and see if any of that stuff that looks like bearing material comes out with a magnet, because that would mean that it's not bearing material and just from the lifter. And sure enough, everything that we see that looks like it's going to be bearing material comes right out on that magnet. Even the bigger chunks and the flakes that look like bearing flakes. So I'm hoping that the piston inside the lifter just ate everything apart when the spring broke, and we might be in the clear. So I might still go ahead and just put the heads back on with the new lifters and run it and see what happens, and run it for a while, change the filter again, and keep on checking stuff. So we might be okay. That's an exciting update. Well, we finally have a beautiful fall day. Back at it for a little bit. Maybe I can get at least this side back together. It's got the new Johnson lifters in there. Look at that. Pretty. Oh yeah. So I can see now with the head off that cylinder 2 and 6 are both on the back side of the cam, so I'll probably use cylinder 2 to measure my new push rod lengths, see where they need to be, because I think it's they want a preload of 35,000, something like that. Yeah, 35 thou plus or minus 10. So yep, just gonna slap the head gasket on, put the head back on, do some measurements, and start pulling the other side off. A little bit more motivated again now that we found out that was actually metal in that filter and not bearing material. So hopefully there isn't any bearing material that we're missing. I still probably may pull the oil pan, take a look at the pickup screen. The oil pressure definitely has gone down a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the I don't know if the material from the lifter went through the pump and has hurt the pump a little bit, and maybe that's why it's dropped. Maybe just bearings breaking in a little bit. But I got fresh oil again, and gonna do all of this, put the new turbo section together. Some people said maybe the turbo section, being that the turbo's bad, was killing some oil pressure, but I don't know, because the restrictor size of where the oil goes into the turbo is tiny. That hole is so small, I can't Can't imagine, but maybe it's possible. We'll see. We shall see. More to come. All right, update time. We have new turbo section in. That was kind of a pain. Heads back on. New lifters in. Push rods. Got the push rods measured. The new push rods ordered. The new push rods are in. All of this is put back together and torqued. Check this out. This is the old turbo. Hold that housing. That is pretty bad. It's hard to see that in the video, but it is moving a lot.
You can see it on the exhaust side.
You can see it on the exhaust side? Oh yeah, holy shit.
You can hear it.
So, I think it's savable. Gonna maybe get another turbine for that. Ev was cleaning out the housing in there over there, so we'll get this all rebuilt, put back together for drag week as a spare, just without, we'll wrap the backside, the exhaust side, and hopefully if we have a spare, it means we won't need another one. It's usually how that works, right? If you're prepared, then it doesn't happen. So the next thing we're going to do is jack the car up, pull the oil pan, take a look at the pickup tube, and then slap it back together and start it up. Should be ready. We're going to a little car show on Saturday, so it'll be a nice little test drive, but it's nice to see this thing back together.
Part way.
Yeah, most of the way. All right. We got the car back together. Ev's doing a little polishing on some stuff because I am horrible at cleaning and polishing. He just went through and redid the wheels for me. They look brand new. And we just did the first fire up. It sounds pretty awesome. No more ticking. That's the next thing, the radiator. No leaks. Got coolant in it. We're going to a little car show tomorrow right in town, so it'll be a nice little test drive and see what's leaking. The new turbo's in it. So the last thing I need to do is take the valve covers back off. Eventually I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the catch can and the bigger PCV system, but just for tomorrow I just put the factory stuff back on it. But other than that, so we're 99.9% done. Awesome. Over and out. All right, there she is. I was just closing out the video that I had finally made for all the updates and the aftermath from Drag Week, and I wanted to at least give you guys a video of it running because I was putting everything together. I was like, man, I don't even have a video of this thing running after we got everything back together. So I figured I'd come down here to the storage unit where we've got everything tucked away for the wintertime. I don't know, shout out to Lang Durfee if he ever watches this, but he lets us rent half of this since he uses part of it too. So get a little bit of a deal there, but just kick her on, do a little bit of hood. Oh. Oh. Pressure still scares me a little bit. It's not where it was. I don't know. Here's a nice video of her running though. Just time to be tucked away for winter time. Starting to warm up a little bit. Still Model T put away. There we go. All right, so now this is put away for the wintertime. The channel will probably be some other stuff. We've got the G20 Vance, a 92 that I'm four-wheel drive swapping that. I've got a 10-bolt for the front and a 6.0 LS 4L80 just because we use it all winter, all year round for the band. And the 350 it does okay. I've rebuilt the 700R4 a couple times and it just shit the bed again. Just that the trailer's heavy and it's always constantly pulling. It sucks in the wintertime with no four-wheel drive. So I've got that to do this winter. We were supposed to build a garage and that the flood screwed everything all up this year. So that's why we're using a friend's renting a storage unit for all of our stuff. So it kind of put a stall on everything. Another friend of mine has a garage, so hopefully this will be this winter's project too to finish up. It's a YJ that's going to get a CJ clip that I've been building. So this already has the LS and stuff. I need to pull the body back off of it. I just set it on for storage. So I need to pull the body back off and finish doing some little bit of body work and paint that. And there was as well as the CJ clip that's going to go on it. Everything else though, frame, exhaust, all this stuff is done. I need to weld the rear spring perches on. I waited until everything. I wanted to get the whole weight of everything in. I'm hoping this thing settles just a little bit because she is tall. My wife's only 5'3". Definitely going to need some steps. But this is basically just a little class 4 trail rig and mostly street rig. So this is on the docket next. So thank you guys for following along and can't wait for, it's either going to be Hot Rod Drag Week next year or depending on where that is, if it's all the way down in Florida for Hot Rod Drag Week, Rocky Mountain Race Week is actually in Kansas City starting this year. Well, it's starting in Kansas City this year, so it's a little bit closer. There's both about 22 to 24 hour drive. So we'll see how all that falls and where it all ends up. It'd be really cool to do Rocky Mountain Race Week. It'd be cool to get a sticker for every one of the big ones. You know, I'd like to do one every year from here on out, but whichever ones are closer and works out will be cool. Rocky Mountain Race Week has an actual stick shift class, which is neat. So if I do Hot Rod Drag Week, I'll just be in the 10.0 Street Car Eliminator class, which is fine because that's my next goals with this car anyways, to just kind of get as close as 10 as possible. It'd be sweet to break into the 9s, but you know, if I can get it dialed in to stay consistent in the low 10s, that would be fantastic. So that's this next spring and summer's goal, going down to Epic and seeing if I hurt the motor. We'll see once I start doing some more passes down to Epping, pull the new oil filter out, cut that open, pull it apart, see if I got any filter or any bearing material in the filter, because the oil pressure has gone down a little bit. Maybe it's breaking. Maybe, like I said before, it's the oil pump. Only time will tell. I'm going to keep running it. If I got to pull the engine back out again, so be it. Thanks, everybody, for following along. Till next time.